Bonjour, welcome to Miss Lucy's Classic Cajun Culture and Cooking, and I'm your host, Miss Lucy. And today we have a very exciting program for you when Miss Gladys Clark will be teaching me how to take big fluffy cotton balls, spinning into this beautiful thread here, which gets weaved into gorgeous placemats like this, or even maybe a blouse such as this. Then, of course, after which, I will be going into the kitchen and sharing my delicious recipes with you. So you stay with us, Sha. We'll be right back. Okay, Miss Gladys, let's see.
The Louisiana Seafood Marketing Board is a proud sponsor of Lucy's Classic Cajun Culture and Cooking Show. The Bayou State enjoys an outstanding culinary tradition. At the center of that tradition is seafood. And no wonder, Louisiana is one of the nation's leading seafood suppliers. And the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Whether it's crawfish processing or meat packing, Louisiana is the business location for food processing, with infrastructure, site selection assistance, and workforce training. Louisiana, the shape of food technology.
What makes Louisiana so special? Our beautiful bayous and grand plantation homes surrounded by old oak trees, our music and joie de vivre, our unique way of cooking the bounty we harvest from the land and the water. It's our communities, our businesses, our people. That's why I love Louisiana and why I want to share my precious Cajun heritage with you.
Welcome to my kitchen. I have a great menu for you today. Of course, I'll have my granddaughter, Lucy, helping me with it. And later on, I'll share with you a very interesting lesson that I had with my friend, Miss Gladys Clark, at the spinning wheel. But first, we're going to cook up a typical Cajun dish. It's one we're really famous for, gumbo. First, you start with the
roux.
Correct. And Lucy, how many times have you heard Mama say that?
About 1,000.
Very good. Of course, let's teach them how Mama makes her roux. We're going to have some oil in this pot here. And it's been heating because for time element, we're letting it get hot. Now, we're going to add flour. Roux is really easy to make, but there's really something you have to remember. You must never stop stirring or else you're going to burn it. Take the phone off the hook, tie the kids to the bed post, and don't you dare answer the doorbell because you're going to burn this. And actually, once they got little black specks in there, Lucy, throw it away because you can't remedy that with nothing. It's just worthless if you burn it. It really tastes bitter. So I'm going to get rid of this flour here. And see this, how it's bubbling and cooking? Now there are different types of roux. A gumbo roux has to look like this. It's got to be real dark. Now there's oil that accumulates on top of this roux after it sets a while, just like this one has accumulated. So I made this yesterday and I left it setting. You can actually make roux and let it set for weeks in the refrigerator. And oil will accumulate and you just dump it out, and then it'll be a little bit lighter without the oil in it. And of course, there are dry roux, which you make, and, well, I've never burned a roux yet, but today I'll probably burn it on TV. But anyway, the brown roux with the flour has got to be just an almond color because that flour darkens as you put it in water, Lucy. Now, actually, when I'm going to be through with this roux, I'm going to add cold water to it because once you have a hot roux, you have to add cold water to it. And when you have hot water, you add the cold roux to it, huh, Lucy? Let your water come to a boil, and then you add your cold roux to it. So actually, this roux, I would be adding some to a boiling water, and this I'm going to add cold water to. Of course, now we've already made our roux for our gumbo. We're having wonderful seafood gumbo today, Lucy. Very, very typical in Cajun country, and it is great. It's delicious. But now, gumbo roux has got to be dark, so it's going to take a little while to do this, okay? This is how we do it. You see it? What you think of this? Keep stirring. Don't stop. Now, there's an étouffée roux, which I make very often for crawfish étouffée or shrimp étouffée. And actually, right now is when I would do it for the étouffées because I want a light roux for my étouffée. This is the color that my roux would be. So we're just going to keep stirring, though, because it's got to turn to this color. So actually, you keep stirring. It'll take you a good while because the longer you cook your roux, the better it tastes. So if you cook it real quick, this kind of has a bitter taste. You kind of let that flour cook and just get real smooth tasting. So I've got a big pot here already made that I'm going to throw all my seafood in. So this is the, see how it's turning, Lucy? It's getting, you know, a little darker brown, and that's not taking long, but you have to keep stirring. And man, this whisk is great. You can't make a roux without a whisk. Of course, if you start seeing those little specks forming in there, Lucy, take your little old whisk and start stirring it up. Now, you know, though, you have to be careful because roux is very hot. You smell it, you feel it. It's very, very hot. Once you burn, you'll never get that out of you. So actually, this is the color you want your roux, and look at it. Isn't it gorgeous? It's beautiful. So what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to turn this off. I'm not going to add the water to it because we already have a pot of gumbo. That's, well, not really the whole gumbo, but we have already mixed it and cooked it with the roux. This is the roux gravy. Now, actually, when you're going to have this roux made, it's going to keep cooking in your pot, so it'll keep getting darker. So you want to go ahead and set it in a pot of water, or now I just put mine in the sink. Now I'm going to take this big pot and transfer it over here because we got to finish our gumbo, Lucy. We're going to put it cooking. Well, actually, can you hand me the shrimp? Very good. See, she knows what shrimp is. This is beautiful Louisiana shrimp. So I'm going to add this to my pot right here. Just dump it in. We Cajuns throw everything in. Okay. And our oysters. We're going to add our oysters next. Very good. Thank you. And you don't want to drain your oysters. You want that wonderful oyster juice taste. Great. Right, let me just put it like this, sugar. Okay? I know. And what's next, Lucy? Crabs. Yes, our beautiful Louisiana crabs. All right. Very good. Thank you, love. You're so good. You can help Mama so well. Now, look at this. Isn't this a gorgeous pot of gumbo? Of course, now there's something missing. What is it?
Sugar and
Oh, it's salt. It's salt. Yeah. You put your salt. You season it with salt and pepper. Oh, Cajun seasoning, okay, and Louisiana hot sauce, the pepper sauce that we're so famous for. But really, you don't want to over-season your food because Cajuns, they really don't season their food that highly. That's a misconception. But you can, you know, you can season it according to your taste. That's what Cajun cooking is. So while we're doing this, of course, let's do our potato salad. Cajuns cannot have gumbo without potato salad, huh, Lucy? Do you like potato salad?
yes, ma'am.
I know you do. And this is Gussie's potato salad. So actually, I've already chopped up my eggs, and I've got some celery chopped up very fine in here. And then, of course, you have your sweet pickle relish in here. And I've put them on top of my potatoes, which I have boiled and cut up. Now, you let your potatoes really get cool before you cut them up, because that, Gussie told me that was the secret of her good potato salad. And you know, and gum cooks good. Now, to this, I'm going to add my mayonnaise, or mayonnaise, like I would say. Missy doesn't like for me to say mayonnaise, but, you know, Missy's only half Cajun, I guess. Got a little bit of German in her. So you mix this up real well. Of course, I eat my potato salad in my pot, in my plate of gumbo. How do you eat yours, Lucy?
I don't know.
You don't know, huh? You don't like to mix yours because actually some people don't. It kind of looks gross, but it's okay. It tastes good. Now my mom's going to season it with salt and pepper. You see, you add just a little dab of salt to this. And, see, Cajuns don't measure anything. They just throw it in. Just really have that natural cooking ability, I guess. They say if a Cajun woman's not good at cooking, just shoot her. She's not worth for anything else. So, anyway, here we go. See how gorgeous this is? This is a beautiful pot of Gus potato salad, and we're going to enjoy this when our gumbo gets cooked, okay? Because it's cooking. Let's check our gumbo again because I see we need to stir it. You want to stir it for Mama? Yeah, go ahead and try to stir it real. There you go. Look at that. You have to make sure all that seafood is cooked, but really it doesn't take long because seafood must never be overcooked. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's fine. Let's put our spoon back here. Now, it's time to put our onion tops in it. So we'll just put it on top here. That's all you need in there. I don't put anything else in there, just onion tops. And we'll let that cook together. And while the gumbo finishes cooking, Lucy, I promised y'all a visit with Miss Gladys. And she had a real tough job on her hands with Mama. Well, I'm having a wonderful visit with Miss Gladys Clark here, and of course her precious grandson, who is the 5th generation, and his name's Landon Clark. So, hey, Landon, you want to come with me? Come on, I'll take you. And we're just having a very good visit, and we're discussing all about cotton, because there's nobody that knows as much about cotton as Miss Gladys. She has promised to teach me how to spin, and then maybe we'll go into the weaving bit later on, maybe next year sometime, Miss Gladys. So she is an expert in weaving and way far better than some of the beautiful craftsmanship I've seen. So Miss Gladys, I didn't know that there was colored cotton, okay? Mm-hmm. When I was introduced to cotton, it was all white. But you have introduced me to some brown cotton, some colored cotton. So you grow this, I understand.
I do, and the Cajuns would grow the brown cotton for their own use. My mother would weave her blankets and her, blankets and towels and sheets for the brown. The Cajuns would grow the brown cotton for their own use, and they would grow the white cotton for the market.
Well, that's
with money.
Well, of course, yes. Well, that's very interesting. And of course, there's the blue. How did you do this?
The blue is white cotton that I dye with indigo. I grow my own indigo. You dye that with the fresh leaves of indigo.
Right.
You have a certain recipe to work with.
Wonderful.
Beautiful blue.
Well, honey, and what about the brown here? That's it. That's what you use with this,
yes,
right?
With the brown,
and the blue.
Yes, and the blue.
Wonderful. Well, these are gorgeous pieces. Now, this is what the green is.
This is the green. The green cotton is a very light green when you grow it, when you card it. And once it's spun, you take your yarn and you boil it just from tap water, just for about 15, 20 minutes, and you got a deeper green, this color, which the color holds this. And it's a very beautiful green.
That is gorgeous. It's unbelievable that it turns from that color to that even. And what about this color, Miss Gladys?
Now this is the textile of Cajuns. Their textile, they would use the brown cotton, the white, and the blue. The blue is dyed with indigo, and that was their textile.
And you promised you were going to make me one of these?
Yes, before too long. Here's the next one on my list.
Oh, great. I'll be looking forward to using it.
I wanted to try my hand at spinning some cotton, which I had never done before. With an expert teacher, it seemed so easy.
Okay, and you take the cotton, you hold it on the end of the spindle. This is called the spindle or the spike. You hold it at the end. As you turn the wheel, it would flip there, which gives it a twist. Then you draw it out to the size of thread that you need. Okay. Then you put your wheel in reverse. And put it on the spool.
And it'll go right here.
As the lesson continued, I got to handle the wheel and pedal and really got into it.
Okay.
Of course, Miss Gladys and I got so deeply involved that we just naturally started speaking Cajun French.
All right, c'est mon turn, amour. It's my turn.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, this is
tight
great.
Here. Hold it tight, you can get more.
Yeah.
And I'm pedaling too.
I know.
Keep on twisting. Draw it out as you twist, slowly. Slowly, not too fast. Keep on spinning.
Oh, keep on spinning.
Don't need your gauze.
Don't need your gauze. Don't need your gauze.
Tiens sur le bout.
Sur le bout. OK, d'ici. Oh.
Tourne.
OK, et je vais le mettre. Regardez, ça pourrait casser, non?
Non. Tourne, good. Twist. Donne-le. Là, tu commences à ralentir bien. Pas trop fort.
J'étais trop fort. J'ai trop de la force, c'est pour ça. I'm too strong for my own good.
I might need a few more lessons from Miss Gladys before I become as good as her at the spinning wheel, But what a fun time I had that day with my first spinning lesson. What a treasure Miss Gladys Clark is to our community. The craft that her mother left her is still expressed in her skilled work, and the lessons she gives others are a testament to our Cajun heritage. I really never thought I was very good at crafts, but now I think I could give it a try. Look how good I got, Lucy.
I like it.
Yes. No, not really. Miss Gladys made this for me, and I will treasure it forever. It's gorgeous. Just beautiful. Thank you, Miss Gladys. All right, now let's get to something that I'm really good at, okay, Lucy? And that's making homemade bread. And I've got some bread that has risen in my old pretty mama's pan. This was her bread pan, and she used to always make this bread in this pan. But now Mama Z taught me how to make this bread. Lucy, would you like to punch that down?
Yes,
Put your
ma'am.
hands in this oil because this is a gooey job. So you put your hands in some cooking oil and it won't stick to your hands that way. But I've already let this rise overnight. Now when I make bread at home, I go ahead and I do it during the daytime, and I punch it down like this about 4 times during the day. Honey, it's just about ready at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and boy, you can see those hungry people coming in. The smell of that bread just spreads out throughout the farm. Very good, Lucy. Thank you.
It's fun.
Yes, you like that, huh? Then you take it out from around here, and then I'll show you in a minute how I go ahead and I put it in the pan, okay? And I'll give you the recipe now and the way that I made it. I have sugar and oil in here with milk that I have scalded. And so I mix all this together. Now, of course, you need some yeast. Excuse me, Lucy, I'm going to go out this side. Go ahead. That's okay. I've got some yeast in here that I've already set in some hot, well, not too hot water. Have to be kind of warm water because you don't want your yeast to be killed. In fact, that's how I'll say it. So you add this here. All righty. Now you mix it up real well. Then to this, I'm going to add about 6 cups of flour. So keep punching it down, babe. Very good. See, and usually, like I said, it has to be that kind of consistency, but you have to keep adding your flour until you get it that way. And he'll get real kind of elastic. Not kind of, really? My mother-in-law taught me how to make this. The recipe is my mother-in-law's, but I use my mama's mixing bowl and her baking pan. So the combination of the two, you can't go wrong. I can't go wrong anyway. Mix it up real good, and it'll be just like what Lucy has over there. So, of course, that'll be mixed up. I'll finish this off in a bit, of course. It takes a while. And really, this is a gooey thing, so we don't want to go into that right now. Let me show you how I make it. This is already the made dough. So, Lucy, if you would. Okay, very good. Thank you. Woo.
Can I help?
How you like? Yeah, go ahead. Cut off. This is the way my mom does it. Look, we cut off a little poof like this. See this poof? Of course, you have oil. Now get you a poof. Okay? Let me move this over here. Okay? And we have oil already in our pan. You see this? So you run your, okay, like this. You run your poof and you roll it just like this. Now, if you want to, you can put it in a bread pan and make a loaf of bread. But this is how Mama always baked her bread. And so actually, we're going to complete all this around here, and the finished product will look like this here. Because you have all your bread mix, and that crust, see, I like crusted bread. So actually, that's why I make it like this. But see, Lucy, now you did good. All right, you want me to do another one?
No.
Oh, okay, do another one for Mama then. That's a big help. So you got to go and put that in the oven at about 350 degrees or 325, about a half hour to 45 minutes. And you'll know when it's done because that smell's going to just get everybody from out of the yard and down the block. All righty, that's good. Thank you, very good. Now we're going to wipe your little hands and we're going to show them how we make a pineapple upside down cake, okay?
Okay.
Right. And of course, after a while, we're going to heat this up and we're going to put butter and jelly and Gussie jelly in it.
Yummy.
Yummy. You like it, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. Now here, we're going to do a pineapple upside down cake
which of course is just out of this world. Now I have made this recipe myself. Now I've already melted butter and put brown sugar in the bottom of this pan, which I'm going to bake it in. Lucy, would you like to help me put the pineapple here?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Just go ahead and help me put it right here. Just line them up and throw them in. So you can't have a pineapple upside down cake without pineapple. Oh, uh-oh. I guess you're going to eat this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good job. Well, I knew you'd do that. It's good.
Yes,
like
ma'am.
Now, I guess you can use fresh pineapple. All righty.
Cherries.
Oh, cherries. Wow. Lucy likes cherries, too. Lucy likes anything. All right, let's go ahead and decorate this. Okay, you want to do that?
Yes,
while
ma'am.
Mama mixes her cake dough?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you. That'll be a big help. And here, I've got my cake mix already.
Can I eat these 2 cherries?
You sure can. I have my white cake mix. It's not scratch cake. This is a cake mix. Okay? Put it in the mixer. And of course, you want to mix that up real well. Got some eggs that I put in here in my cake mix. And I add sugar to it. Okay? Very good. Now, you mix this up real good, Lucy. Because this is easy. You can do this. Mama let you do this at home. And you make this for Papi, your other papa. And he really likes this. Then you add your oil to it. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a wonderful recipe. And of course, look how gorgeous it is. That's one thing my mom makes real pretty, and it's tasty, right? Good. Now to this, woo, that sucker go, huh? And my mother milk and the pineapple juice. Now what you need, no, this is fine. The pineapple juice Mama already put in here. So I added the leftover pineapple juice that I had out of the can, and actually what I did was equal to 1 cup of milk.
Can I pour it in?
You sure can. Go ahead. Give me this. Very good. This will be fine. And you're going to mix this up real well. And then, of course, we'll pour it on top of our pineapple and cherries here. And you'll bake that in the oven. And then about 5 minutes after it's baked, you take it out, and it's going to look just like this. Lucy, you know what? We've got a meal that's fit for a king or a queen. You want to sample it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let Mama fix us a bowl of gumbo, and you and me can share it, okay?
Okay.
I'll be right back, Chef. All right. Now, this will be real good. This is really, really something. Oh, well, it's bad we don't have taste division, you know, but you just have to try it at home, Chef. You'll love it. Whew, this bale is heavy. I'm sure glad I didn't have to carry it around much. Those cotton pickers must have had big muscles. Oh, goodness, yes. Well, here I am at the LSU Rural Life Museum on the Burden Plantation in Baton Rouge. And I will be sharing this beautiful letter with you today from Ms. Malero in Hammond, Louisiana. And she says, "Dear Miss Lucy, while ordering 3 more of your wonderful cookbooks for gifts, am taking the opportunity to thank you for all the enjoyment I have received from watching your Cajun cooking on PBS. I too grew up in Southwest Louisiana, Lafayette, and also had my mother, my gran, and my nanan to introduce me to their good Cajun dishes. I now have 3 young married granddaughters who hang around me for recipes when they come to visit. They will receive your cookbooks for Christmas because there it is, all in one book, the classic country cuisine they all love, plus much more for lagniappe, the recipes from your family and friends. And they'll enjoy your comments on Cajun food and culture. As for me, I'm still eating my favorites, rice and gravy, dirty rice, and jambalaya. And I always enjoy my couscous and pampadu, which I grew up on. The good old days at home in Lafayette with my Cajun French family are gone, but not forgotten. Thanks to you, Lucy, for helping to keep your and my heritage alive and well. My order is enclosed. Sincerely, Miss Goldie." Well, thank you, Miss Goldie, for taking the opportunity and the time to write this lovely letter. And I thank you for joining us today when we cooked a wonderful meal and visiting and here in Baton Rouge at the Rural Life Museum. So you stay with us. We'll see you again next week. Thank you.
C'est noir que le diable peut pas les voir et ça me fait du mal.
Look us up on the World Wide Web at lpb.org.
The Louisiana Seafood Marketing Board is a proud sponsor of Lucy's Classic Cajun Culture and Cooking Show. The Bayou State enjoys an outstanding culinary tradition. At the center of that tradition is seafood. And no wonder, Louisiana is one of the nation's leading seafood suppliers. And the Louisiana Department of Economic Development. Whether it's crawfish processing or meat packing, Louisiana is the business location for food processing, with infrastructure, site selection assistance, and workforce training. Louisiana, the shape of food technology.